Alright guys, it's Criminal here, back to another MK1 video, and this one we're gonna be covering Rain. Rain, in my opinion, is the most fun character in this entire game. I'm gonna say it, I said it. I haven't had this much fun with a character in any fighting game. Just labbing him, he is so much fun. So yeah, without any further ado, let's just get right into it. I'll put Liu Kang on block. Let's get into his strings. He has multiple strings and many good strings. First up, he has this. Just a standing one, regular standing one. Fairly good hitbox. But he's splashing water at you. It's 0 on block. Second attack with his backhand -1. And the final attack is 0. With a lot of pushback. So it's perfectly safe, and even you could make the argument it's sort of plus. Like with this amount of pushback, if you use the right cameo, you can easily set up pressure. Being neutral on block is always fantastic. He has another way to finish this string, this 2-1-1 string. He can go into this low. It's also safe, decent amount of pushback, and it's a low. You can catch your opponent off guard, do some 5% of their HP or something, so it's of course decent. Next up is down 1. Really good. Reach is very long. 7 frames on startup, pretty much universal. Only Johnny Cage has 6 frames for his poke, I'm pretty sure. Next up, after this string, we have this one. This is fantastic. Arguably his best one. This one, 2-1-1-2. The way it works, you have to press the square, you have to press square 2 times before the animation begins, because if you do it once, like it's the kind of string where you have to press 2 buttons prematurely. If you don't, it just doesn't work. You can special cancel it at any time. First attack here. Second attack can be cancelled. Third attack can be cancelled. This can be cancelled. This giant water ball he drops is also an overhead, by the way. This one is an overhead. Very good for setups, amazing for setups. I'll talk about this later. It might be a long one because Rain has a lot of abilities. And of course it finishes with this. Launches them basically full screen. Rain is a really good zoner if you want to. You can easily zone with Rain if you want to. Oh yes, and the frame data of course. The standing 2 for Rain is safe, sorry, -6. Completely safe. This one, the overhead is also safe. It's -7 with a lot of pushback. There is no way to punish me from that distance. No standing 1 reaches that far. And that no other button within 7 frames gets this far. And the finisher is also safe. And let me just lose how much. -5, look at how much pushback. There is no way to punish this regardless. Yeah, Rain is a very common occurrence for him. Pretty much none of his strings are punishable. That is very good, of course. Next up he has this one. A sneaky low. Can be special cancelled into combos and actually can lead to some decent damage. 30%, not bad at all. Now I did spend the bar there, but it's not bad. Now the thing about this one, if you're close, it's not that good. If you hit it from a bit further, like with this range, it's very good. Because if you're from this range, the Sub-Zero cameo will drop if I try it. And other cameos will drop as well sometimes, depending on the cameo. But if I'm from this range, Sub-Zero hits him. So I can save myself a bar. And with Sub-Zero and his amount of hit stun, Rain can do some really nasty stuff. So yeah, this button pretty good for lows, amazing for mix-ups as well because he has an overhead that we'll talk about soon. On block this is -13, but it can reach very far. Like this button goes far, so it's -10. If it's on far away, it's less minus. Looks like it. Let me just try it. Yeah, the further you are from your opponent, the more safe it is. So pretty much if you're from range like this. Something like this, it's almost unpunishable, really. It also has it's fairly decent pushback, but it is punishable from close range, but in close range it's not that good regardless. But it has its uses, of course. Next up we have this one. Another fantastic string. This button right here is very good. Reason for that, look at the animation for it, it's a very good anti-air. Very good anti-air. If I make him jump at me, it hits very high in the air. Not as high as the animation makes it seem, but still really high. And Rain's damage is very, very high, because he can't get a lot of hits in his combos most of the time. His combos are fairly short, he can't get like 50 hits in a combo. That's not the kind of character he is. And now this string, also extremely safe. This mid right here. On block it's -7, so fairly safe. This one is also -7, that's a low, by the way. And this finisher right here is -6 with good pushback, so yeah, it's pretty much unpunishable. No part of the string is punishable. You can maybe get a poke in, but that's not really a punish, let's be real. Next up is uppercut. Really good uppercut because he has a staff. So if I make Liu Kang jump at me, of course, a very good uppercut. So yeah, he has a good uppercut, of course. Most of the weapon characters, like Ashra for example, have a really good uppercut. Next up we have a standing 3. This cute little bottom. Now this one is pretty good for combos and it's also really good on block. Look at how it's +4. Very good on block. You can just do this. I mean you can't, but you can do this. Because that's a 7 frame move. You can do this. You can also go into this. That's 10 frames. You can easily go into this button. And that would get him if they try to press anything. Alright, moving on from that. This bottom is very good on block and it's also pretty decent for combos because it pops them up so you can cancel into this. So yeah, it has many uses. Really good bottom. Next up we have this one. This double overhead. Really good string. The first overhead is 28 frames but it's safe, it's -4. And the second one is also safe. Now, in the combat cast they show them with Striker. Striker is a very good option, of course. I personally prefer Sub-Zero to set up his crazy good setups, but regardless, he has this move. And he has this low, and he has this overhead. What that means is you can get really good stuff, because this gives you a jump in. So you can do stuff like this. Into this, let me just make him block for a second. I can go from this into this. Or I can go from this into this low. Or I can just not do any jump punch. They expect me to jump punch and just do this low. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about this later. He has really good setups. He really is a setup character. He's much more of a setup character than a zoner. Next we have is down 3. Very good poke. Phenomenal poke, really. Just insane. The range is almost like Sindel's. Like, it's really far reaching. Now it is -12 like most down 3s in this game, but it goes really far. And you cancel it into this special and try to catch them off guard. And now, next up, we have a button that is just pure fan service. It's standing 4. It's the classic kick. Normally you can't combo after it. By the way, it's really safe. Look at this. It's -7. Look at the pushback. And if I charge it, it's even safer. No, it's the same thing. But if I charge it, I get a full combo. And of course, because it's a standing 4, the damage hardly scales. But normally you do it at the end of combos, not at the beginning of them. Really getting it is very difficult, and you also can cancel the charge at any time. So that's really good for mix-ups, like if you try something like this, they block this, let's say. They block it, let's say they blocked it, you try to charge it fully last time, you're going into this time. You can cancel it into grab. You can cancel it into another string if they are expecting a grab, so yeah, it has multiple uses. Finally we have a sweep. Really good sweep. -2 only with insane range. This again, another good poke. His air combos, I'm pretty sure he has 3 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he has 3 of them. and the universal kick everybody has. That is called dolphin kick. He has this one. It's special cancelable, but Train can't really do any specials in the air. Like specials that attack the opponent. Like, let me just check for a second. I'm pretty sure he has no specials that attack the opponent that he can do in the air. Yeah, he has none of these. But this is a really good way to set up this one. That is fantastic. And of course, with cameos and in the corner, you can combo off with this. So pretty good. So yeah, moving on from this one. Next up, we have this one. This is the ground bounce, really good for his combos. You can also cancel it into sub-zeros. Whatchamacallit, the freeze, like this. So yeah, it's very, very good. A great option. This one is only really, it's basically only useful in the corner, but in the corner is basically this ground bounce, but better, does more damage. So, like if you're mid-screen, sorry. You have to delay it a little bit. There we go. If you're mid-screen, you can't really get anything out of this. Like, you can try, but it doesn't have any options to get this far. But in the corner, it's fantastic because it's less hit, so it scales less, and it also does more damage than this one. It does more damage and scales less, so you can go into this, and you do much more damage. Much more. So yeah, moving on from that, next up we have the special moves. This is pretty much it for his normals. We have this water beam, really good projectile. On block it's +1, but it's very slow with startup, so the amplified version is 0, but the unique thing about this keeps them close to you if you want to take some distance. You can use this, take them pretty much full screen, and you can also charge this by holding the button just, and if you get it fully, it's a crumble. Another reason why Sub-Zero is so good with Rain. Yeah, Sub-Zero is fantastic, of course, very good. And this is also cancelable, by the way, this move. So you can go from a cancel of this to a cancel of this. Oh, what the fuck? So you can cancel this. It could be useful for mix, to boost the surround stuff. Now, one more thing I want to show about this special. It has a unique property that it can hit the opponent after they've already fallen to the ground. So just let me show what I mean. Not like this, sorry. What did I want to do? There we go, you see this? Now, this changes up the frame data. Because the later it hits, I'm pretty sure you're more plus. Like, from close range, this thing is very minus. It's -12 from close range. The amplified is also -12. It's not very good on close range. Again, it's a projectile, so if you knock them on the ground and it hits later, the frame data changes. The amplified actually can become plus if you do it in a certain time. Yeah, here, in this situation it's plus when you do it from far away. Here I'm +3. So that can really catch people off guard. You can also get into this from this. And again I'm plus. This is a great way to finish combos, by the way. Like, if you want to finish it early, like this, you can set this up and maybe they'll think they're plus and they can catch the mashing. So yeah, that's another thing about this special. Next up, let's just move back to the center. Moving on from his specials. Moving on in his specials, I mean, he has this one, Upflow. can be an anti-air. And the amplifier, this is main combo extender. Like you just go into whatever you want and you can get a full air combo. Honestly, man, that's good damage. There's almost no hits, but it's still good damage. Never mind, dropping it, but it's possible to get more damage. That's pretty much it. Yeah, so this is a very good move. Of course, his main combo tool. Now it's very, very minus on block. Cancelable on hit into jump, you can see here. It's a very good combo extender. Next up we have this one. This is basically his entire kit. That's why I love him so much. This is a fantastic setup tool, the Watergate. Now, it's 30 frames on startup. But he has this move. I noticed this. 25 on cancel. So you can get into Watergate. You can set this up and you're completely safe. It also recovers fairly quickly, so if your opponent is not ready, you can do something like this. Yeah, depending on your set it up, you end up in a different way, in a different place. If I set up 2, I go in the air, yeah, so... Yeah, it has unique properties. Now, going in the air is not that useful. Really, just the Watergate, the very good thing about him is how you can set it up. That's why I love Sub-Zero with him. Oh, and of course it's, you can do it in the air, just obvious. Now, before I go into the setups with that thing, another thing it has is this. If you have 2 of them on screen, you can cancel it into this move. Basically, in order to go into the portal, you do, instead of down back triangle, you do down forward triangle. And you go after the portal, this way. Now, if you have 2 of these, and you amplify the version, you get this move. It is extremely flat on hit and on block. How much is it on block? I don't remember. Let me just move it towards. On hit you get this pop-up. So yeah, it's comboable. I just make him block. It's +3 on block. Now this gets really good in the corner. Oh, let me just switch him to auto. There we go. Like if you do whatever combo you want. Now I'm plus here, I can continue my offense. As you can see, this move is very, very useful. Now getting into why it is extremely powerful. I think that's pretty much locked behind you using Sub-Zero though. That's why I love Sub-Zero with them. Because of the frame advantage it gives me. When I have freeze, I can easily set up one of these, or even 2 if I want to. The good thing about this is I can go into this move that I will talk about as well. So basically I get stuff like this. As you can see, that's a very good Oki. Extremely good. Because as I said before, I don't have to go into this overhead. I can go into this low right here. I can go into the overhead and then into the low. I can go into the overhead and then into an overhead. I can go into a grab. I can go into an overhead into a grab. So as you can see, the options are very much limitless. And all of these, except for the grab, lead to a full combo, by the way. If they don't block correctly. So combos. Just to show you how powerful this is. Like even mid-screen, look at what I can do with Rain. Oh, my bad. I missed time. As you can see, switching up lows and overheads like this. And he can't really interrupt me there. I'm really plus because this string does that pop-up. So it's very plus on cancel. Yeah, it's plus 67 when you cancel it. The teleport itself is how much? Teleport itself, let's see if it shows. It's 68. And this one is 67, right? So basically, I'm only -1 there. And I landed the air. And the jumping attack is very, very good. And of course, the higher they are, even more frame advantage. Like if I do something like this instead. If I get it after this one, let's say. Yeah, this move is very, very good. And of course, the opponent will just be panicking because there is so much things going on screen. So this Watergate is very, very good. Now, there is another thing about it. Because you can set up two of them, you can choose where you want to go. Like to the older one or to the newer one. To go to the newer one, you just do down forward. If you have two on screen, you can do down forward back. And it'll go into the older one. Normally you'll go into the new one regardless if you do the normal input. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. So yeah, this move is fantastic for setups, it's just amazing, man. The potential of this is limitless. So yeah, let's move on from this. I'll show you a cool thing I can do in the corner as well at the end of this video. Next up we have the Geyser. Very, very good move. As a close and far version. That's very useful because you can confer off of everything into the Geyser basically. So it's really good, and if you have a cameo you can also extend after that. The Amplify version is his armor wake up. It's armored, it's 7 frames on startup, so it's really good. Does some decent damage, and it's also not that minus on block, and it has some pretty decent pushback. Look at it. It's minus 16, so it's really minus, but it also has really good pushback. It pushes them back significantly, so like if I do something like this... Yeah, I'm pretty much unpunishable at this range, like they need a very good move to punish me from here. So moving on from this one, a great combo finisher because it's very, very fast on startup. We have the water shield, up circle back, circle. Very good move. The normal one is just, it keeps this on screen. If you amplify it, it follows you. When I have this activated, regardless of a projectile they throw at me, it doesn't work. So you can amplify this if you're low on HP and just get in this way. Very, very powerful move. Extremely powerful. Having the ability to just negate projectiles when you're low on HP is just priceless. And even not when you're low on HP, you can just pop this and then start zoning them yourself. Next up we have this one. The Ancient Trap. Very, very good move. It's this one. It has a normal version, a close, and a far. It pulls them in basically, it's just like another regular whirlpool, so while it's good in combination with this, Rain becomes unzonable. Because if they try to zone me, you don't want to trade with that projectile, it's not a projectile you want to trade with. I confirm to that, I can get some really good damage. And if you have the right cameo for the job, Sub-Zero isn't the one, because Sub-Zero is just here for the setups, as I've said. Now, finally, we have the coolest looking special move in the history of Mortal Kombat games. This one. Let me just cancel it. There we go. Now, the input sucks. It's down, down, up. It hurts your thumbs. It takes some time getting used to, but it has a close version, a normal version, and a far version. This is the kind of move that pops up regardless of how many times I do it in a combo, so I can use it multiple times and it will still pop up. So if I go to the corner, if I start my combo somehow with this, and then I go into Sub-Zero, let's say. It's also good to confirm into Fatal Blow. So yeah, just before I get into other stuff, oh, I forgot, you can delay it as much as you want by holding R2 or holding up, and it does the pose. It's so clean, man. And if you want to cancel it at any time, you can press L2. Now, this is extremely powerful because the sound effects and the animation really throws you off. Like, look at this. I'll just start doing the block string and then like cancel the... I'm telling you what I'm gonna do. I'll start the block string on my opponent when he's blocking. I'll cancel into this thing, cancel it, and go into a grab. Look at just how much is going on screen. Yeah, this move is a very, very powerful cancel. Being capable of canceling a move with this animation is very, very strong. So yeah, that's basically it for his move list. Now let's just look at the Fatal Blow before I show some of the stuff I want to show. His battle is really cool. The fucking goofy ally. So yeah, that's a very good thing. And now, let me just show you some combos. When you're mid-screen, and you want to use your cameo, like you confirm any hit into this, go into this, and into Geyser. Really good damage, honestly. And if you start from the overhead, you can get even more. Yeah, from the overhead you get much more damage as well. The overhead is very good. Now, mid-screen, when you have a cameo like Sub-Zero, what you want to do is use some setups. You want to sacrifice a bit of damage to get setups in, because this is really powerful. Like, oh, also with Sub-Zero you can do something like this. You can do the freeze, go into this fully charged, it will crumble them, go into this, and then into Geyser. You can get some really good damage for 1 bar. Also after this kick, it's very easy to get with it, bro. You can just spam it like crazy and you get it. Like I'm mashing the shit out of it here, you can see the left side, and it works always, so really good. Now, with Sub-Zero what I like to do is just go for setups basically. Like with any hit I get, any hit, except for this one, because it's not easy to, you can't get Sub-Zero mid-screen with this button. In the corner you can, in mid-screen you can't unfortunately, but from any other hit confirm I get. Not this, sorry. Let me just. What did I want to do? As you can see, these setups can get crazy, but in the corner you just get absolutely bonkers. Because this move gains a lot of value in the corner. A lot of value. Now, in the corner you can do stuff like this with them. Now, that's not what I wanted to show. I had the mid-tempo, but it looks cool, of course. Ah shit, wrong special. Just to show you a sequence, like, we already established that this is a 50-50, like, out of the water gate. You can't tell if I'm gonna do the overhead or the low. It's pretty much unreactable, so... Just to show you a setup, a realistic scenario, like if they don't have breaker, what can happen. That's one wrong guess. Look at the amount of damage I can do. Now, I know what you must be thinking. Why won't I just wake up with armor? I know we must both be thinking that. Don't forget, he has this trick. This is 2 hits. That means it break armor. So if I put him on get up, I can put him on get up, I can put him enhanced, where is it? Enhanced Dancing Dragon, I think. It's this one. Why the fuck is he delaying it? Oh. There we go. That's an armor wake up. Look what happens if I go for this button. Breaks. Bye. Arrivederci. 2 wrong guesses. Pack your bags. You are dying. So yeah, Rain is just amazing, man. Rain is so much fun to play. I can't want to go online with him. He is amazing. He is a force to be reckoned with because these setups are no joke, man. You have multiple 50-50s in one instance. Like, you have this one. Will I do the overhead jump in or will I do this? Both of them lead to full combos. If I do the jump in, I can choose this again or this overhead. I can also go from the overhead into this. I can go from the overhead into this, into cancel this, into grab. So just, yeah, you're getting hit basically, man. It's very hard to block against. He is very powerful in all areas of the game. He is an extremely fun character. I'm gonna have some good footage with him for sure, I promise you that. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.